गणेशाय नमः ओम श्री सरस्वताय नमः ओम श्री गुरु दत्तात्रेय नमः ओम श्री महालक्ष्मी नमः गुरुर् ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर् साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः. So we are doing Sri Eknathi Bhagavad Satsang. So we'll be continuing Sri Eknathi Bhagavad chapter 2 and the verse is 77. One who has turned away from the Lord loses the memory of his real self due to his Maya and falls prey to the mistaken belief that he is the body. He is then seized by the fear caused by duality, which is the identification with other thing than the self. Therefore, the wise should worship God by only the devotion, believing that he himself as Atman, his Guru and God are one. Now we have completed the sub-verse until verse 474. Now we will be continuing from chapter 2, verse 77, sub-verse 475 onwards. Those who turn their attention away from worship of God have always the duality present in front of them. And the mundane life, with all its fears and pains, goes on increasing its bad effects. This is very, very important. Now, what is Eknath Maharaj saying here? He's saying, those who turn away their attention away from worship of God have always the duality present in front of them. And the mundane life, with all its fears and pains, goes on increasing its bad effects. Now see, most important, in the last few verses, what is, Lord Shri Krishna Bhagavan even talking about, and what has Eknath Maharaj explained in his commentary? He's saying the fear of Maya can only exist when there is duality is there. Because of the duality, the fear exists. And the birthplace of Maya is when you believe you are separate than the God. Now what is missing in all of this? How can you overcome Maya? With the devotion to Lord Shri Krishna Bhagavan. It's only through devotion. That is what we have been learning. And how do you get this devotion is something Eknath Maharaj is going to explain now in detail. But here he's talking about what is the root cause, right? Why does this happen? Now, most important, what people do, they get so engrossed in their material world. He's very clearly saying, those who turn away their attention from the worship of God. Now, have you seen people slowly deteriorating from worship of God? You know why? Because their worldly life keeps them very occupied. And what is the worldly life all about? It's Maya. You're entangled in that material worldly crap. You're constantly running after money, lust and greed. That's the most important one. You have to attend to your children, your family, your husband, your wife, your job, everything. All this is connected to two very important aspects, and that is called lust and greed. There is nothing more than that. And a man, especially today, when I say man, it's human being, it's both man and a woman. Today what they do is they're so much greedy. They're so lost in that material world that they want to run after money. Their only motivation is, I need to live a comfortable life. I want a better life. I want a better future for my children. They believe that they are in the control of destiny. They believe they have to build houses, not one house, they want houses. Today it's a very strange thing, in Bangalore. When I was talking to somebody, today one of the maids was here, and she said, I was born and brought up in this place, and this area we live is called Whitefield. And I was telling her, so that means you must have seen only fields here, right? Because this used to be the agricultural land. Today, I can't even see a tree here. Because even a small patch of land, they're just constructing. They're just raising a tall buildings coming up. And what is going to happen? They're destroying the environment. They're destroying the nature. So do you think the nature is going to be nice to you? Because human beings are one creature who are destroying everything that Mother Nature has created. And do you think she's going to keep quiet? You don't know the rat that you're going to get. People have become so greedy is not the word. They don't want one car, they need two cars. In Bangalore, basically there's no roads at all. And if you see, people will have BMWs, Mercedes Benz, Audi, and I don't know what all fancy cars. There is no road here, it's all potholes. And yet people want to possess these fancy vehicles. And where are you going to drive? And the funny part is, you can't even drive beyond 30 kilometers speed. And here they want to have all these fancy cars for what? I don't understand. There is a limit to greed. And so these human beings are so lost in this greed, lust and greed. They're constantly running after these things. So what is going to happen? You don't have time for God. So God is an afterthought. When is God coming into existence? It's when you're in the deep, some gutter of your life. That time you'll wake up. Oh, I need to go to this temple. I need to pray to God. When, Krishna Bhagavan has taught in Bhagavad Gita. He says, I have 4 types of devotees. The first one who come to me for material wants, who run after material gains. That's the first kind of a devotee. The second are who are affliction. They have diseases. They are coming here because they need to get their, I need to get my sickness cured. The only reason why they want to be devoted is not devotee at all. They just come because they want something cured in their life. The third kind is who's running after knowledge. They think they want knowledge. And he says, I like the fourth kind of a devotee, who's a wise man, who comes to me because he's just devoted to me. He is the highest among my devotees. So do you know these 3 kinds of devotees? That is where every 99.99% of the human beings fall. And by the way, in that, I'm not saying all of them are devoted to God. God doesn't exist in, at least I think 50% of them don't believe in God at all. So the existence of God doesn't exist at all. So what they do? Today they are only running after these things. And I went to few people's home. I was invited. And over there, I saw that the puja room was converted into, keeping their wine bottles. I was aghast. How could you do this? And you're supposed to be from the Hindu dharma. Forget about Sanatan dharma. You don't even know what Sanatan dharma means. Supposedly born in the Hindu family, and they have converted the puja room into wine cellar, the wine storage. And I was horrified, and I saw all the pieces of beautiful idols as a showcase piece, it's been kept. There's a Ganesha, there is a Buddha, and I don't know what not. So I was amazed at how the upbringing was and the attitude of people today. So this is Kali Yuga for you. So what is Maya going to be? So what does he say? So he's saying those who turn away their attention away from worship of God have always the duality present in front of them. And most important, the mundane life with all its fears. The mundane life with all its fears and pains goes on increasing its bad effects. So you think you're going to be happily ever after. I'm going to earn more money. I'm going to go on fancy holidays. I'm going to enjoy my family time. I'm going to enjoy drinking, whatever. Please understand, your life is fraught with fear. And the pains and sufferings in your material world is only going to continuously increase with its bad effects. And this is the truth. I'm sure you just can open your eyes and see around what is happening in people's lives. They can show you, they can say, oh, I have a big bungalow, I have a villa, I have a fancy house, I have this, I have that, I have cars. But understand, their life is misery. It's full of misery and suffering. What is he saying? It increases the fear very clearly. The mundane life with all its fears and pains goes on increasing its bad effects. So please continue to be in your material world, and this is what happens. And take God away from your life. You're going to be the most happiest being on planet Earth. Then, just as a person who's confused about directions thinks that the west is east, similarly, when a man is away from the absolute Brahman, the false duality grows fast. This is also again important. Every word is important. So what is he saying? Just as a person who's confused about the directions, they don't know which direction to go to. And somebody who's looking for a direction, he thinks the west is east. Similarly, when a man is away from the absolute Brahman, the false duality grows fast. And this is very true. I'll tell you how. There are a lot of disciples who have come and met my Guruji and left and gone away. When they go away, and after that I have met them, after they have gone away, and sometimes they do return back for a very short period of time. And this short period of time, I've seen them. What is lost in them? That devotion, that goodness that they had. And that Maya has become very strong in their life. And the worst part is, I could not recognize these beings. It was very sad for me to see the same person who was very, sattvic in nature has become rajasic, and forget about rajasic, tamasic to the core. Doing every wrong thing, running after lust and greed. That is all has been the focus. And I asked my Guruji, why does this happen? So he said something very strange. I'll give you the answer. You know what he said? He said, see, as long as you are under the protection of your guru, you know, the Kali Purusha or Maya, the Kali Purusha, you know, that's, I told you how even Lord Brahma has instructed the Kali Purusha to not to touch the devotees of the guru, you know, to stay away from them. But the moment you leave, you go from his grace. Do you know what happens? You go back into the material world. And until you're with your guru, you're protected with a firewall. That firewall is his grace, and he protects you from this, you know, the influence of Maya. It's not very strong. You know, that protection is there. So that goodness is always going to be there to some extent. I'm not saying all extent. To some extent that goodness exists. That influence of the guru is always there. And the moment they go away, you know what happens? The moment you go away, your destiny is back in place. You go back to becoming a material worldly being because you're lost in the material world. Your influences, your material worldly attachment, your family, your world, your work, all that comes back. And the period that you were with him, that's all the period. Then what happens? The period that you were in, the same destiny, all the destiny which had stopped for you is back in action. Means your karma is back. Your old ways are going to be it's going to be very strong. You're going to become the old person. So I was amazed and shocked. So my Guruji said, it is only till they are with me that grace exists. And most important, that influence, that constantly being in the company of the holy has the same influence on you. But the moment you go away, this is what happens. And then my Guruji said something very strange. See, understand, the moment they leave and go, the ones who leave the guru and go, which is actually a sin, by the way. You're not supposed to leave your guru and go, but those who leave and go, you know what happens? Your karma is back in action with you. The destiny is back and in full swing. And understand, anything that you might have offered to your Gurudev, okay? Whatever the Guru Dakshina, everything, it comes back to you in return in 10, 100 times more, into X. Everything is back in your life. Don't think he's accepting even that karma. No, the universe works in a very unique manner. Everything is given back to you. So you will become rich. You will get 100x more than what you have offered him, because people talk about money. Oh, I gave the Guru Dakshina to my Guru, and all this kind of nonsense comes because Maya becomes predominant in their life. So when this comes, when they leave the Guru and go, they talk all nonsensical things about the Guru. They abuse and they say all bad things. Then what happens is that Maya comes back in your life. Your destiny is with you. Everything that you might have thought, you know, that goodness that was there, that doesn't exist. And please understand, when you are with your Guru, at that time, because of his influence, you will have that goodness with you. But that, if you would have been in material world, the person you would have been is what comes back to you back again. So whatever that period with your Guru existed doesn't exist at all. It is only at that moment in time. So that 2 years or 3 years or how many ever years you were with your Guru, that period, if you would have been in the material world, you would have been whatever the greedy, that karma, everything, all that comes back to you once again. This is what happens. So when I saw this being and this person, I was horrified. I said, what has happened? I see so much of change. I could not even understand why this works and why this is happening or how this works. So my Guruji gave me this understanding. So he said, it is under the Krishna Bhagwan's grace, the wing of the Govardhan mountain, you are under that. So the reign of Indradev cannot, even touch the devotees of the Lord. So like that, you are under that firewall and the grace. The protection is the divine Lord. So the day you go away, the day you get lost in your material world, this is what happens. So be very careful. See, there are a lot of people who come and go. It doesn't matter to them. They love the pains and suffering. That is what they like to enjoy. You can, like my Guruji says, you can be my guest, no problem. I might have 1 disciple, 2 disciple. That is all my devotee. That much only I will take care. It doesn't matter. I don't need, millions of people following me. Krishna Bhagwan is not even interested. And understand, he's putting a lot of effort. His time on this planet Earth is very limited. You need to understand the value of what you have. So the most important thing. Then, from the well of duality, there are water sources of decisions and doubts flowing and developing into a spate of birth and death. They cause the whole world to be drowned in those waters. So what is there? From the well of duality, There are water sources of decisions and doubts flowing. You're constantly in that delusional state. Your doubts are flowing. You need to make decisions. You don't know what is right, what is wrong. You're constantly stuck into wanting to get an answer. But when you are with Guru, magic happens. And this human beings don't value. That's a very sad thing. I'll tell you why. I'm going to give you a story, but let's finish this. And then what is happening and developing into a state of birth and death. You're constantly in the cycle of birth and death. That's exactly what you like. And they cause the whole world to be drowned in those waters. They caused the whole world to be drowned. Even Dwarka was not spared. It just vanished. Nobody can figure out where Dwarka is. That is the power of Krishna Bhagwan. He's not going to leave anything, no trace of his existence also. That's the power of the Lord. You don't know his Maya. It's very, very strong. And by the pull of birth and death, any types of sufferings and calamities are gone through by the persons who are not devotees. But devotees feel that pull even in But devotees never feel that pull even in their dream. So what is he saying? By the pull of this birth and death, any types of sufferings and calamities are gone through by the persons who are not the devotees of the Lord. They have to suffer a lot. And the sad part is people think, oh, my Guruji is there so I can enjoy my material world. There are a lot of this kind of people who come and say, Guruji, you take care. No, I will be very happy. I will enjoy Maya so that you can just take care of me. So I will be enjoying Maya. This is how human beings are. You don't want to put any effort. You don't want to evolve. You don't even want to become a good human being. Forget about divinity. Divinity is so far drawn thing. First, become a good human being. You have to be filled with goodness. Sattvic quality is very important. Sattva guna is the most important thing. Be your good self. This is one lesson my Guruji will teach every single person who comes to him. He'll always say that, please, be full of goodness. You don't have to be angry. You don't have to be upset. You don't have to be petty in your life. Be that big-hearted person. Be very good. Goodness just doesn't come by saying, I want to be good. No, want to be like my Guruji says. Yeah, there is money in the Reserve Bank. The Federal Reserve has the money. But what is use it for me? If you cannot follow, then what use is it? I want to be good is a different story. What are you doing about it? Why is that not coming in your life? We care about every other human being in this world. But when it is your Guru, you take things for granted. You don't even value and respect this being in your life. Basic etiquette, simple things like, the human courtesy. My Guruji recently, had some health checks and all that. It is a very basic courtesy. There were only very few people in his few disciples who just asked about it. So this is Sattva Guna. Others don't even care. Oh, I am just sitting here. But the same thing when they want visa, when they want money, they want, they come for all the petty requirements of the material world. How selfish and self-centered it is. It is very sad to me. Is this what we are in? Is this what you're learning from your Guruji? Your Guruji has never taught you this. On the contrary, he's been the epitome. He teaches how you have to be your good self, how you have to be very kind to everybody, how you have to think about the world, not just you. Me, myself is not the answer all the time. That is what my Guruji teaches. So what is he saying here? So, by the pull of the birth and death, any types of suffering and calamities are gone through by the persons who are not the devotees. But the devotees never feel that pull even in their dream. You don't know what this world of Maya is. You don't know how strong the Lord's Maya. What can happen? You don't know your karma. You don't know what is in the destiny of all this people you are attached to, people, places and things. Then, the greatness of devotion is such that the bondage of earthly life cannot enter into it. But, there's a very important lesson here. But in order to get entry in the devotion of this type, it is necessary to do service to the feet of the Sadguru. There you go. If I ask, what service are you doing to your Sadguru? The Guru is doing the service of the disciple and the devotees. He is ever taking care of you. He is suffering for your karmas. He is doing everything. What are you doing as a disciple and a devotee to your Guru? Answer this question very truthfully to yourself. Touch your heart and ask. What is he saying? The greatness of the devotion is such that the bondage of earthly life cannot enter into it at all. But in order to get entry in the devotion of this type of devotion, I always keep telling, this type of devotion can only come to you when the grace of the divine Lord, who is Lord Shri Krishna Bhagwan, who is the Guru himself, who is the Paramatma, and he is manifested in the form of the Guru. And when you do the service of the feet of the lotus feet of the Guru is when you will bless this devotion. That devotion will be invoked in you. It is not so easy to get this devotion. It is not something available just like that. Oh, I am devoted. People mouth a lot. Talk, talk, talk. My Guruji will always say, talk less and, show it in action. Action speaks greater than words, far greater than words. So do not mouth nonsense. People love to talk, utter nonsense. But in action, it is minus. They will not even stand to even 1% of what they speak. Forget about rest of the things. This is the world we are. He is very clearly explaining here. So it is only when you do service can you attain this devotion. This is a very beautiful saying. Seva karoge to meva khaoge. Means what? Only when you do service can you eat meva. Meva is it's a kind of a sweet you make out of it. It's a cream that from the milk it comes. It's like a paneer or a cottage cheese, something like that. So only when you do service can you eat the fruit of devotion. That is what it means. Of who? The lotus feet of your Sadguru. Here, people will be very devoted to their children, devoted to their husband, the office, everybody who takes them for a ride. Those are the people you would like to serve. You are a servant material. You like to be the doormat of all these material worldly people. But when it is coming to your Sadguru, not a single person who will be willing to do his service. Because there is no binding, no. Here in the material world, there is a lot of things at stake. And that too for all this misery and suffering, which Eknath Maharaj has very clearly said. How people love to live in that misery and suffering. And only come to the Guru when they want some things. I need visas. I want to go on a holiday. I need my visa sanctioned. I have such people coming here. It's very sad to see how petty, but the same thing, the Guruji has gone to the hospital and come. You don't have a goodness of mouth. Guruji, is it all okay with you? Are you well? Why is that not the priority? Why is that simple courtesy? This is a basic courtesy. Forget about even Guruji or anybody. It's a basic human courtesy. Do you see? There is no goodness here. The goodness has gone out of window. Don't tell me I have not been taught. I have not been taught. Come on. You have been taught everything. Every other wrong thing your mind knows. But these good qualities you don't know. You don't know to even basic courtesy ask. That is how human beings and how selfish they are. This is the world we are in. Only he is the real Sadguru who saves his disciple from the worry about death. Other types of teachers are only for the imparting of particular mantra and the practice of certain method of worship and nothing more. Very clearly Krishna Bhagavan is talking here. What is he saying? Who is the Sadguru? Because everybody calls themselves whatever nonsense they want and dole out things to people in this material world. Understand how to recognize a Sadguru. Everybody is not a Sadguru and you can't call yourself anything that fancy names and designations that you give. What is he saying? Only he is a real Sadguru who saves his disciple from the worry about death. So what is your Guru giving you? He's giving you the Brahmanyan, a priceless knowledge. You can't offer any Guru Dakshina also. It is not equivalent to what he's offering you. He's offering you liberation or devotion. He's taking you out of that, the muck you are in. He's teaching you how to live life, the way of life. Bhagavata Dharma means what? The way of life as taught by Lord Shri Krishna Bhagwan. Today people don't even know what Dharma is. Didn't we learn today that the disappearance of Lord Shri Krishna Bhagwan? What happens? The moment he was leaving his mortal body, what happened? People became greedy. The climate changed. Everything is happening. Are you seeing the same things happening right now? Yeah, please understand what is to come about. This is not a joke. Because a human being do not recognize what is happening. They only want to lost in their self-centeredness. You need to wake up to the truth and reality. And this knowledge is not coming to everybody. Understand this. Very few people are privileged to be saved. And Lord himself has manifested to save you. You need to be very, very grateful and thankful about this opportunity that you have got. So what is he saying? Only he is the real Sadguru who saves his disciple from the worry about death. How does worry doesn't come? You know, what does Guruji tell you? My Krishna Guruji says something very beautiful. You just be the devotee of the Lord. You just be devoted to me, to the Guru and the God. That's it. He takes care of everything. So are you going to fear death? No. On the contrary, you know, my Krishna Bhagwan is there. I am going to attain him. That is your conviction, provided you have that kind of devotion. So he removes you the fear of death. I have recently seen this body's parents and other few people. One of this body's parents, that's my mother's uncle, passed away. So when this body's parents went for the death and they came, their whole, you know, that the mind, the way how they were before that they were a little calm. The moment they went, attended this death ceremony and they came, there was a fear in them. I saw the fear of death. I was asking Guruji this question: is the fear of death so strong? Why should anybody fear death? Because we know that the day we are born, we are going to die. And then Guruji was telling me, no, the fear of death is very, very strong. It's the greatest fear that exists. Everybody's trying to hold on to their life till the very last moment, thinking, I want to extend, I want to live, I want to be good, I want to be all right. So when they saw certain people becoming sick and everything, there was a big fear in them. And then with Guruji's grace, that fear slowly went away. Just in his presence. That's the greatness of him. And I could see how strong that fear is. It's in the mind. A person gets so lost in that. It is very dangerous. And this is the kind of suffering the world has. And here your Sadguru removes this worry about death. How beautiful is that? Other types of teachers are only for imparting of particular mantra. So true. Have you seen in the material world, every other person is doling out mantra? And in that too in lakhs and to thousands and millions of people, you think the Guru doles out mantras like that? The mantra is Khan mantra. It's not given to the, you know, like a Janta class. No, it is exclusive. He'll only tell you once in your ear and you're not even supposed to say that out. And that is unique to you. And that's an invocation. And this is what happens, not this. Eknath Maharaj is very clearly telling what happens in the material world. He's saying other type of teachers are only for imparting of particular mantra and the practice of certain method of worship and nothing more. And are they prescribing, oh, you worship this God, you do this pariharam, you do this puja, oh, everything will be all right? What kind of nonsense is that? I have done all these once upon a time. The day I met my Guru, the day my Guru found me, that day I dropped all this nonsense. You don't know how dangerous this is. It's very, very dangerous. Gurus teach mantras and their practices are many. But according to Lord Shri Krishna, only he is real Guru who gives his disciple direct experience of the truth. This is beautiful. What is here saying? Lord Shri Krishna Bhagavan himself is saying this. What is he saying? Gurus teach mantras and their practices are many. Do you see in the material world, there are n number of nonsensical practices happening and people follow dime a dozen in all these nonsense and they fall prey to that. Everybody is going towards their own destruction. This is Kali Yuga. Understand it is Kali's age. Everybody is fast hurtling towards the destruction. But according to Lord Shri Krishna, only he is the real Guru who gives his disciple the direct experience of truth. The day you meet your Gurudev, the Lord Shri Krishna Bhagavan himself, what you start experiencing in your life is the truth. A direct experience of truth is, given to you in everything. The same object which appears to you very good, very nice, he will start showing you the truth about that. But first he will also show you the truth about who you are. Because the problem with human beings, I am very good. I am the greatest. I am the most genuine person. I am very, big-hearted. I do a lot of charity. This egoistic belief that you are very good. So first thing the Guru does, he puts a mirror in front of you. He shows you who truly you are. Number one. And that truth is very hard hitting. It's very difficult to digest. I don't know. This is who I am. I'm not even joking. Everybody has to go through this. And everybody's vasanas, tendencies, shadripus, whatever the shadripus that you have, and the vasanas that you have, and your nature. All that is something that he puts the mirror in front of you to show you who you truly are first. And then, what does he do? He starts the purification process. It's an acid wash. And that wash is going to be extremely painful, because it's not a joke. The purification is a very, very tough thing. And please understand, when you have to evolve on the path of spirituality, the first is you have to become a sattvic human being. Divinity is the next. First is you have to become, from tamas, you have to rise. You have to get to sattva. The goodness has to come in you. Your heart has to be purified. Your mind has to be purified. You are going to see the truth about everything. The day you meet your guru, please understand, he'll start showing you truth in everything. Your belief system will completely be, shattered. All the pink color glasses is going to be crushed under his feet. And your ego is going to be the first thing which is going to be destroyed. And not just that, there's more. And I'm not going to go in that detail, but this is what happens. And then what is he giving? He's giving you the direct experience of the truth. And see, understand, truth is bitter. Human beings cannot accept the truth because we live in the false world, fake world, We like to always live in this fake, hypocritical world, fake world. We like to live in this false belief. It's like an ostrich mentality. But the day your guru comes and, he puts you on this roller coaster ride. And that journey is not a joke. Because truth is very difficult. It's very hard to digest. Then you'll understand, in reality, nobody is your friend. This morning, didn't he explain? There is no friend. What did he say? In Bhagavad Purana, it is written, fathers and mothers and sons will fight. Your children will fight with the parents. The parents are going to fight with the children. Siblings are going to fight with each other for property, for whatever nonsensical things. Friends, there are no friends in this world. Everything is fake. See, everybody is self-centered. I, me, myself. What is written for me? If someone needs something, then only they'll talk to you, they'll come to you. There is always a hidden agenda. And we think, oh, no, my husband is very good, he takes care of me. My wife is very good. She takes care of me. My children are very good. So all these kind of things come about. Nobody is good, nobody is this. Everybody is self-centered. Please understand, they don't even belong to you. In the first place, they're not even your own. And you are so attached to these people, thinking that they are the greatest thing, and you are serving, servant material. That is who we become. See, understand, the guru teaches the truth. And what does he say? We have to first become dispassionate with everything in this world. That is the first D. There are 3 Ds. The second one is you have to detach yourself from everything. You just have to do your duty without attachments to anything, people, places and things. And the third thing is discrimination. What does discrimination mean? Everything around you is unreal. There is only one relationship which is your own. And that is Vasudev Kutumbam, Lord Shri Krishna Bhagwan. He's the only one who's your own. He's the best friend that you can ever, you can't even dream of having, but you have. He's the only friend in your life that exists, who's always there. Even if you discard him, you tell him whatever, when you come back, he's always welcoming. He hugs his child. The prodigal story, the prodigal son from Bible. Go read it if you don't know. It's a very beautiful one. The son who leaves the father and goes away, and when he comes back, he receives him with a grand welcome. That's the greatness of this guru. He's ever compassionate. If somebody comes to my guru and says, please save me, he will not say that person did this to me, that to me. That is why he's Lord Shri Krishna Paramatma. Never ever he will say anything bad to him. That is called goodness, being your good self. No matter how people behave, he'll always tell me, Rajma, no matter what people do, what people say, you have to be good self. You have to only do good in this world. Give love to everybody. There are no biases. There are no differentiation between everybody, because we are all part of Vasudev Kutumbam. This has to be established in your heart. Until you do not feel that, then that love doesn't come. That devotion to Lord Shri Krishna Paramatma doesn't happen. Then, so, Guru is God. Oh, very beautiful next verse. So what is he saying? Only he is the real Guru who gives his disciple the direct experience of the truth. The next is Guru is God, Guru is mother and father. Guru is Atman and Guru is himself the Almighty. Guru is the Paramatman in all respects. In principle, Guru is absolute Brahman. Everything is your Guru alone. There is nothing beside him. That is why it is not anybody in this world can give you the experience of God. Guru is the doorway to God. That is why the greatness of the Guru cannot even be explained by anybody. He is greater than all the gods in this universe. His position is unique. And most important, it is only because of the grace of your Guru will the God come to meet you. He gives you the experience of the God. And who can give? Only God can give you the experience, not anybody else. Because Guru is the Paramatman who has taken the form and here to teach you about the truth. Very clearly is explaining Guru is God. It was very funny incidents. Somebody in my world, so this sentence was written, Mata Pita Guru Daivam. So this exactly was written. And that person was telling me, see, it's written there. You have to first give importance to your father, mother, and then the teacher. Actually, what? The person was ignorant. I didn't even want to talk because it doesn't make sense. That was absolutely a material worldly, human being. You can't say these things to the, ignorant being. So I only shut my mouth. So what it means here, he's saying Guru is God. Guru is mother and father. Guru is Atman. Means what? Your Guru is your father, your Guru is the mother, and Guru is that God. Guru is the Paramatman, Guru is everything in your life. And that is what the feeling, bhav has to be. That has to be your devotion, your conviction, your faith. Because in the material world, we believe in every nonsensical thing, but the same thing, how much faith you have in your Guru? What is the faith there? Is it 99.99%? It's not even 10%. Because fear exists. Oh, somebody is going to say something about me. What is going to happen to me? You're constantly only worried about your material world. Where are you devoted to your Guru? Guru doesn't even exist. That's what happens. So the day you meet your Guru, please understand, you become a part of Vasudev Kutumbam. Everything is unreal. The relationship which you think is real, it's not even your own. They don't even belong to you. They will even be ready to murder you and walk away. That's the world. Have you heard so many stories? Husband murdering the wife, wife murdering the husband, wife having an affair and running away with some boyfriend. All sorts of nonsensical things are happening in this world. This is Kali Yuga. And understand, this is all unreal. And most important, they are not your true relation at all. Once this was a very interesting thought process my Guruji was teaching me, and he said, imagine if they were your true relatives or whatever, right, your father, mother, why is that then there is a fight for property, or why is it about, he takes more or something? Why are we constantly fighting with each other? When somebody is yours, you will always give it. You will have the goodness of heart. Okay, you take it. Has the God ever said, no, I will not give? He looks upon all his children equally. Everybody is the children of God. And to date, I have not seen my Guruji ever differentiating among anybody. He knows how bad they are or whatever the nature is. They are ignorant, all that he understands. But his love is so beautiful. He will treat everybody equally. There are no favorism at all in his world. It will appear. This is a very beautiful lesson you will be learning in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Kunti will say this to Shri Krishna Bhagwan. She will say, you know what? Everybody calls you your bias. Actually, you are not. And this truth nobody understands. The Guru or the God are not biased. They are equal. They know what they have to give to each. And they will give what is right for that individual. But in the disciples' world, that truth is not understood. They will always see, oh, look, that person you have given more, I am not getting. That this person is with you, I don't have. That is how the comparison happens, because you're all petty human beings. But the day you understand the truth about what he's doing, then you will shut your mouth. You will not even utter this word. And this lesson you will so beautifully learn in Srimad Bhagavatam. And Krishna Bhagwan is going to explain about it. And he doesn't care. It's okay, you can say whatever you want, but he will only do what is good for you. Understand this truth. It has taken me many years to realize this. And I've never seen my Guruji ever making any, this difference, or he has not discriminated between anybody. And that's universal love. That's the love of God. And I've always seen him pour that love on everybody. No matter how many times the disciple makes mistake, and still he will take on their problem. He doesn't say, oh, you're a bad person. He will never utter those words. That is why he is God Almighty. He is Krishna Bhagwan. And to have this being with you, that's the Guru in your life, you need to be very, very grateful. And this privilege, do not lose it. Because it's very easy to get lost in the world of Maya. It is very difficult to retain it. So here is very clearly saying, Guru is God, Guru is the mother, Guru is the father, Guru is the Atman, and Guru is himself the Almighty. Guru is the Paramatman in all respects. In principle, Guru alone is the absolute Brahman. There is nothing equal in comparison to Guru. The greatness of Guru is immeasurable. He cannot be met without great fortune. That's the beauty of it. How powerful it is. You know what is he saying? There is nothing equal in comparison to Guru. You can't compare him with anybody in this entire universe. He's beyond any comparisons. The greatness of the Guru is immeasurable. You can't even understand the greatness of what he does and how he does. He will appear as an ordinary mortal, as an ordinary human being. But I've seen him suffering the karma and sins of all other people, his disciples, and anybody. He might not even know them from Adam's, but something happening, he is going to suffer for them. That is how it is. There was a very interesting disease that came for my Guruji. It's called brucellosis. That happens only to the cows. And then the doctor was asking me, he said, did he go near the cow? Did he drink some milk from the cow? How is this disease coming to him? This is so unique. It's not possible. And then there was a revelation. Oh my God, there was something happening to these cows in Vrindavan. So he had to take on him, and he was suffering through that. That's the greatness of this Guru. Can you suffer? Will your husband, wife, children suffer for your sins? We have this beautiful story of Valmiki, no? We have repeated the story n number of times. I don't even want to say. Why don't you go say, oh, I'm doing so many things for my family. Your children, everybody has to take your karma. Will they do? No, they don't care. They don't care about what is happening with you. They only are self-centered being. It's I, me, myself. But the Guru suffers for everybody. Whether it is animate, inanimate beings, whether it is, some creature somewhere, cows, animals, everything. He's compassionate. My Guruji will talk to all the creatures, the birds. It's very sweet to see him do this. It's so nice. Because he's Paramatman. He's one with everything in this universe. He's always communicating with them. It's very divine to see those things. And he will have this conversation. And I asked my Guruji, can you tell what the bird is saying? And he'll say, oh, he's asking, he's got this problem. I said, how funny. And so he will just talk. And they will come and say something and he's responding. That's a very unique sight to see. Of course, I don't understand. But my Guruji has this beautiful conversation with them. And he'll keep responding to them. I'll say, what are you saying? Then he'll explain to me that the birds are asking this and so I am saying this. And that's such a sweet thing. And he's always solving everybody's problem. This morning he was telling how this entire there is life in everything. Whether it is animate or inanimate beings, there is life because everything has Paramatman in it. You might not know. And I will say this, our car, Guruji's car, whenever we do this Dashara, we worship it. Because this car has been so sweet. It is serving my Guruji so nicely. And the kind of things we have done, the amount of shifting we have done, the amount of stuff, we'll always thank. I will always thank. I'll say, you've been the great, the chariot of Krishna Bhagwan. You're the vehicle of Krishna Bhagwan. You have done so much of service to him. Thank you very much. I love you so dearly. It's a being. I hope you remember this lesson. Shripa Sri Vallabh, when we were doing, Dattatreya explains that. How we take a series of life, we have to go through different life. Multiple lives of you animate and inanimate beings. Finally, before you get a human birth. So understand everything as a soul in it. But what are we human beings doing? We're such a mean person that we want to destroy this universe, the ecosystem, everything for our selfish purpose, the greed that we have. That's the human being. Today we need to be very good in the way we use things, God-given things. We should not be abusive of things. We should not exploit things. We should always be very grateful. That's one thing which is taught in the way of life. Mythistical way of life teaches this. That's called how do you live in this world? How do you follow the path, the way of life? It's a very important lesson. It is not just like that these programs are there. There is a reason for it because of what is happening, because human beings have gone off the path. And there is a lot of upheaval that's happening in the world. So, and most important, your children, the future generation have to be saved. And so we have to make their foundation very strong. Give them good knowledge, fill their heart and their entire being with goodness so that their future is saved and secured and their future can be better. They don't have to suffer for all the sins you have created and your forefathers have created. That is what it is. So I'll do one more verse and we can stop. So there is nothing equal in comparison to the Guru. The greatness of Guru is immeasurable. He cannot be met without great fortune. This is very important. In some life of yours, you have done some good things that merit, which is we discussed enough in Shripad Sri Vallabh. This has very beautifully been explained over and over again. So because of that great merit, some good fortune is why you have the privilege of meeting him. Rather, you don't meet him, he finds you. That's the way it works. Then, when one has the great reservoir of selfless actions to his credit, and when one has also acute ascetic nature, together with great acumen of discrimination, then only the blessings of the Guru are possible. Again, this is very important. So what is he saying? When one has great reservoir of selfless actions to his credit. What is it? Selfless actions. Are you a selfless action or are you full of selfishness? So when you meet your Guru, what does he teach you? To become selfless. He makes you perform nishkama karma. We have to do selfless action. It does always have to be seva bhav. We're always here to serve. We're always here to do good. That thing has to come in within you constantly. So what is he saying? When one has a great reservoir of selfless actions to his credit, and when one has also acute ascetic nature, together with great acumen of discrimination, then only the blessings of the Guru are possible. Means what? This is the next stage. So coming to the Guru is one. So when the knowledge is given, to evolve on the path of spirituality, first you have to become this. Till you do not get to this stage, that growth doesn't happen in your spiritual world. That is what he's saying. When the blessings of Guru are received, devotion is in full growth, and the death runs away from that man. The trifling fear of earthly life has no place at all. So when the blessings of the Guru are received, devotion is in full growth. So every time your Guru blesses you, you evolve in devotion. So getting his blessing is very, very important. So constantly we need to seek his blessing. His blessing comes provided you evolve. He'll always bless you. The Guru is not a mean person at all. We are understanding his greatness is immeasurable. He'll bless everybody. But it is in your hand to evolve. It is in your hand to put your effort. See, Krishna Paramatma is very clear one thing. He will abide by the scriptures. Means what? He has told Arjuna very clearly. Self-effort. You are your own best friend and you are your own worst enemy. And without self-effort, nothing happens. In Krishna Bhagwan's word, he is very clear. Till you don't put your effort, till you don't lift your bow and arrow and shoot, nothing will work in you. Just sitting and listening to satsang is not enough. Application of knowledge. He will see how much effort are you making. He wants to see that effort. See, the Guru is going to keep on teaching. We have to put effort in practicing those knowledge, the teachings. The lessons have to be imbibed and applied in our day-to-day life. Till you don't do that, this cannot happen. What cannot happen? The blessings of Guru are received, then only the devotion is in full growth. For the devotion to grow, first you have to put effort. The blessing of the Guru is there, but till you do not put the effort, the devotion is not going to come. That is what means. And that the death runs away from that man. Yeah, you don't have to fear death. And the most important, the trifling fear of earthly life has no place at all. Then the fear of the existence living on this planet Earth, you're not going to be afraid at all. You know why? Because you know, I have my Krishna Bhagwan. I have my Gurudev with me constantly. Why fear when I am here? That's what Sai Baba says. So you don't have to be afraid of anything. But for which first, you have to put your efforts. With that, we will stop here. We have stopped at chapter 2, verse 77, sub-verse 485. Thank you for joining Shri Eknathi Bhagwat Satsang. Have a good day and good evening to you all. God bless.